Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we are here now for our Martinsville preview for the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
And this one is the, IAA and Ritchie Bros 250 Xfinity Series race at Martinsville. This one, the excitement starts right from qualifying, because we got 39 teams, drivers and teams for 38 spots. That means we got one that's going to miss the field right from the get-go. The notables they have listed, Brad Perez is going to be in the 07. Brendan Queen, talked about that, and this was already announced. He's in his second of 3 races for Colleague Racing. Garrett Smithley's in the number 14. Corey Day got another spot in the number 17 Hendrick Motorsports. Eric Almirola in the number 19, trying to take that 19 and Joe Gibbs Racing to the champion, or with the owners championship. The 24, Patrick Starpoli, again doing double duty. The number 32, there we got Austin Green. Takuma Koga in the number 35 here in the Xfinity Series. Josh Williams in the 45, Preston Pardis in the 50. The 53, Mason Maggio, Thomas Annunziato in the number 70. The number 91 is to be announced in Connor Mozak, another one doing double duty, getting a lot of seat time here in that number 99 for the rest of the season for Viking Motorsports.
I wanted to mention William Sawalich is listed for that number 18. Have they announced who's going to take his place?
I had not seen as far as who the replacement was going to be.
Oh, Justin Bonsignor.
Oh, well, and that's, man, Joe Gibbs Racing, looking out for him, because actually Justin was supposed to be in the 19, but they put Eric Almirola in there to go for that points championship, owners championship. So as it plays out, Justin getting that ride for William Sawalich. Sharon, you said it was concussion
Yes.
protocol after a Talladega crash and hit. That William Sawalich, unfortunately, is going to be out. But that's good. I like the fact that Justin Bonsignor is still going to get his start.
Yes, so that's going to be pretty cool to see. And it makes me sad that one of them is not going to make it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's why qualifying is so important. And I'll give you the details of when you can watch that qualifying as we give you some of the details of this race. Now, keep in mind that IAA and Ritchie Bros 250 at Martinsville is Saturday, October the 25th, on that 0.526 mile asphalt oval. That race is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and the CW network, the home network for the Xfinity Series, is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Radio coverage is at MRN, Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90, and they'll be racing a distance of 131.5 miles over 250 laps. The first 2 stages are 60 laps each, stage 1 ending on lap 60, stage 2 on lap 120, and then the final stage is 130 laps ending on lap 250. Now, we mentioned the Continental practice and pole qualifying for the Xfinity Series will be on the CW app. Make sure you download that, because that's the way you're going to watch this. That's on Saturday, October the 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the race again is that night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So, Jay, I know this is another series, 4 above, 4 below. 4 are going to not make it to contend for the championship at Phoenix. The other 4 will. We've got a lot to cover here.
Yeah, and Talladega certainly adjusted that a lot. We'll get into that, but look at the history of it. This weekend marks the 45th running of a NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Martinsville Speedway.
The Xfinity Series only raced once at Martinsville between 1995 and 2019, which is kind of amazing.
And then they came back, so this will be the 11th race since the Xfinity Series returned in 2020.
Since the series returned in 2020, Martinsville hosted the Round of 8 cutoff race every year, and it's been a good fit, as Jay mentioned in our previous video.
I think so. And Sharon mentioned this, the lowest 4 playoff drivers in points will be eliminated from playoff contention following this Martinsville race.
Now, Connor Zilisch and Justin Allgaier have already clinched their spots into the championship 4 based on points.
So that means at least 3 of the playoff drivers will make that championship 4 based off of points. We could have the one winner this weekend, but that means a third one will get in on points.
Now, Jesse Love needs to score 28 points to clinch a championship 4 spot on points. So he's in the best situation right now.
And no driver below the cut line is in a mathematical must-win situation. We may think it's too tough to overcome, but mathematically, any one of them could on points.
I believe that, yes. Now, if a non-playoff driver wins on Saturday, this will be the first year since 2016 that no playoff drivers won in the round of 8. I thought it might be the first year ever, but it's the first year since 2016.
And now non-playoff drivers have won 6 of the last 12 playoff races. Now, keep in mind, that's from the driver's side. The owner's side is a little bit different.
Yes. Now, a playoff driver has only won the round of 8 cutoff race and gone on to win the championship twice. William Byron did that in 2017 and Ty Gibbs in 2022.
And this is kind of surprising. It's only 2 rookies that remain in the playoffs. We've talked all year about Connor Zilisch. We're going to talk a little bit more about him, but also Carson Kvapil is still in it.
Okay, now if 4 drivers currently above the cut line make the championship 4, Junior Motorsports will have 3 drivers in the championship race. Connor Zilisch, Justin Allgaier, and Carson Kvapil. Those are the drivers that are currently above the cut line.
All right, and here's where I'm going to try and explain this owner's championship. Joe Gibbs Racing's number 19 and Richard Childress Racing, number 21, have advanced to the owner's championship 4. They got Eric Almirola's win at Las Vegas and then Austin Hill's win at Talladega. Almirola will be in the 19 for the remainder of the season as they go after that.
Now, Austin Hill's win at Talladega was his 4th of the season, second only to Connor Zilisch's 10. It is the 3rd consecutive season that Hill has won 4 races, and I think all 4 of those each time has been the super speedways.
He certainly has the prowess to do that at super speedway races, yes.
He does.
Now, Joe Gibbs Racing has won 8 of the 13 playoff races in Cup and Xfinity this season. Toyota thus winning 12 of the 18 playoff races across Cup, Xfinity, and trucks.
And Martinsville is the 5th and final short track race of the season, although I thought isn't Phoenix considered a short track?
I really thought it was, being it's like 1 mile, right at the 1 mile. It's like right on the cut line of whether you mark it as the short track. I think they say it's technically the intermediate, but races like a short track.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's a thing you want to watch. We've had 4 different drivers from 4 different organizations that have won on short tracks this season. So it's not been a dominant season for anybody.
And Joe Gibbs Racing won 5 of the last 7 Martinsville races with 4 different drivers. So that tells you they may be an organization to watch.
And one of those would be Eric Almirola, as he swept the Martinsville races last year in 2024. And he is the only repeat winner at Martinsville in the last 16 races. So your fantasy pick there, you might want to look pretty heavily at Eric Almirola.
There you go. Justin Allgaier finished in the top 10 in 9 of 10 Martinsville races since 2020.
And there's another one you want to look at.
Yes.
Now, 3 playoff drivers currently have top 10 streaks at Martinsville of at least 4 races. Just heard Justin Allgaier is at 6, Sammy Smith is at 5, and Sheldon Creed is at 4. And those 2 need, I don't even know if top 10s are going to get it done, though.
Yeah, those 2, Sheldon Creed and Sammy Smith are really going to be looking at as many points as they can possibly muster. Now, Sheldon Creed has 3 runner-up finishes at Martinsville. He trails only Dale Jarrett and Larry Pearson, who have 4. So Sheldon Creed's below that cut line right now. And again, another driver that's going to be looking for every point they can find.
And they're Mr. Runner-up again. I'm not even sure he would need some help if he were to finish second. I think he would need some help to get in on points. Now, 4 of the 8 playoff drivers finished in the top 10 at Martinsville in March. I mentioned Sheldon Creed in second, Allgaier at third, Mayer was fifth, and then Sammy Smith right on the 10th spot.
Yeah, Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, and Sheldon Creed are all below that cut line right now. So that bodes well for all of them. Now, 4 of the last 7 Martinsville races had a last lap pass for the win, including the race in March.
And 6 of the last 8 Martinsville races have gone to overtime. So that may even change when that last lap pass comes. It could be an overtime.
It certainly might. Okay, now 5 active drivers won in the Xfinity Series at Martinsville. And we mentioned that earlier. It's led by Eric Almirola, who has 2 wins at that track. And he's going after that owner's champion.
And we've alluded to his great season. Now we're going to fill you in as to some of the stats that go with it. Connor Zilisch, 10 wins this season, is the record for most wins by a rookie.
Connor Zilich's record streak of 18 consecutive top 5 finishes unfortunately came to an end last week. He had a 23rd place finish at Talladega, and he was still running at the end, but he was multiple laps down. And it was kind of sad to see that streak come to an end, Jay.
You know, we kind of knew it was coming, and we kind of expected it every week. Even Connor Zilisch said that himself, but that's still amazing. And that record within that, Connor Zilisch finished first or second in 15 of the 31 races this season. Half of the races in the top 2.
It's amazing. Connor Zilisch won 32% of his starts. That's the best win percentage all time for drivers with more than 3 starts.
Now, Zilisch has led in his last 20 Xfinity Series starts. The record for the most consecutive starts leading is 22 by Brad Keselowski. So he could tie that this year running through Phoenix.
We've talked about this with Randall Burnett. He's coming from the number 8 of Kyle Busch and was announced as Connor Zilisch's crew chief next season when he moves to Trackhouse Racing in the Cup Series.
But that doesn't mean he's done with Xfinity, because Connor Zilisch and Carson Cavapel are going to drive part-time in the Junior Motorsports number 1 in 2026. There, the crew chief is going to be Rodney Childers.
And Junior Motorsports has had a lot of success this year as well. They've won 17 races this season with a series record 6 different drivers. And what's amazing about that is it doesn't even include Parker Kligerman, who filled in a relief role for Connor Zilisch at Daytona and won. So great stat for Junior Motorsports.
And JRM has had at least one car finish top 5 in a record 33 straight races.
And Connor Zilisch, of course, leads the series with his 10 wins. He also has 19 top 5s, 986 laps led, and 8.2 average finish. This last race kind of pulled that number down a bit, and 8 poles this season.
But he's also got, when we talked about him as a contender here, Zilisch and then Jesse Love, they lead the series with 21 top 10s on the year.
And Connor Zilisch has won that fastest lap award 7 times now. And Justin Allgaier is second with 5.
And speaking of Justin Allgaier, he's the one that leads the series with 13 stage wins on the season.
And Justin Allgaier's 28 career wins are 9th on the all-time wins list and 1 away from tying Matt Kenseth. We're hoping he gets that one more, hopefully.
And he probably want to do it with his current configuration, as this was announced this week. Justin Allgaier's crew chief, Jim Pullman, will be moving to RCR in 2026 to serve as Kyle Busch's Cup Series crew chief. We just talked about Randall Burnett going away. They're going to fill that role with Jim Pullman.
And Chevrolet has had a lot of success this season as well. 3,672 of the 4,870 laps this season. That's 75% of the laps that they've led.
And in that domination, they've won 25 of the 31 races, and that's the most all-time by a manufacturer in series history through 31 races.
And we've been talking about this. There are 5 crew chiefs that got their first NASCAR Xfinity Series win this season. Chad Haney at Atlanta, Sam McCauley at Darlington, Adam Wall at Bristol, Corey Shea at Mexico City, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., one and done at Pocono.
5 races this year have ended with a last lap pass.
And I was sad to hear this, but I'm hoping it means good news for Harrison Burton. He announced that he is not returning to AM racing in 2026. So it makes me wonder, where is he going to be in 2026? The O'Reilly Auto Parts is going to be replacing Xfinity as the title sponsor starting in 2026. They become the 5th different title sponsor of the series. Other sponsors from the history perspective are Budweiser, Busch, Nationwide, Xfinity, and next year we'll be calling them the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Looking forward to that. Xfinity's been great, but I know O'Reilly has been a very big motorsport sponsor, so glad to see them step up. Now, we mentioned this is playoff race number 6 for the Xfinity Series. 2 drivers are clinched into the spot in the 4-driver field of the next round, Connor Zilisch and Justin Allgaier. They are in on point. There's a repeat winner or a win by a driver who cannot advance. You need to be ahead of the 5th winless driver. Same point requirements would be true if the new win comes from Connor Zilisch, Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, or Carson Cavapo. In that scenario, Jesse Love would clinch with only 17 points. Carson Cavapo would need 46. Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, and Sheldon Creed would all need help. Now, if the new winner is from Sammy Smith or another winless driver lower in the standings, but still eligible to advance to the championship 4, then you would have to be ahead of the 4th winless driver, and Jesse Love would be the one that could do it on his own with 28 points. Cavapo, Smith, Jones, and Mayer would all need help. But again, any one of them can on a win alone. I think the only one I didn't talk about there was Brandon Jones. Again, mathematically, any of the drivers can point their way in. I'll pull that up and we'll look at that. Not quite as tight as the Truck Series that we talked about in the previous video, but still doable. So Connor Zilisch is at the top with 3,145. Justin Allgaier right with him at 3,138. Again, big part of that was Zilisch's finish at Talladega. But for them at this point, points don't matter. They're in the championship 4, and there it is. Beat the other drivers. Points don't matter no more after that. Now, 3rd place, Jesse Love at 3,102 and Carson Cavapo at 3,073, and that is 29 points apart. Cavapo is the line in 4th. I said at 3,073. Sammy Smith is 11 points behind him at 3,062. Then it's another 9 points back to Brandon Jones, 2 more points back to Sam Mayer. Sheldon Creed at 3,032. Again, 40-some points, 41 points. Could be done to catch Carson Cavapo, but that's one driver. You got to jump over all these other drivers. So again, mathematically, yes, possible. Likely, you better go for the win.
You better go for the win. That's right. And Sheldon Creed is actually due for a win. It would be great to see him come up with that win. Sam Mayer, I feel so bad for him. He was kind of the 3rd driver where Jesse Love is. And he's fallen back to 22 points below that cut line. Brandon Jones, 20 points under. Sammy Smith, 11 points down. Carson Cavapo's not safe in that 4th spot.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, he's just 11 points to the good in the number 4 spot. So again, this is going to be very intense. And in this race right now, it's only Chevrolet in the top 4 right now. All Chevrolet cars in the top 4. Below the cut line, we've got 1 Chevrolet, 1 Toyota, and 2 Fords.
And that's what earlier in the season too. And I said I was impressed with Haas factory team. making the switch over or cutting back on their team, and they're getting ready to switch back to Chevrolet. But I really thought we're going to be the Ford teams to be in there mixing it up. But now, as you mentioned, for whatever reason, they've had a little bit of a slide, both of them. Sheldon Creed a little bit earlier than Sam Mayer. But I also think back, too, now, we had a little bit of a discussion there between, what was it, Jesse Love, and who was it he was frustrated with? Martinsville is one of those, if you got some carryover issues, Martinsville is one of those where they seem to resurface.
Yes. So watch for that as well. But there's always going to be some hurt feelings, I think, at Martinsville too. And especially in an elimination style race. It means a lot to these guys to be able to contend for that championship at Phoenix. And losing that is a huge heartbreak.
And I just think about it now as it popped into my head. If I'm not mistaken, it was Martinsville where teammates at the time, Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed, had some discussion during the race and post-race. And they're right now 8th and 9th in points. Again, Austin Hill can't go for the driver championship, but is one of the ones in the owner's championship. I believe both Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer are the two that are out on the owner's side. So Haas Factory can't on the owner's side. Yeah, that I'm not sure of. I don't have the owner's points up of who the two that are out are.
Do watch for more coming. We've already completed the Cup Truck Series preview and now the Xfinity Series preview. Our next video is going to be the Cup Series preview at Martinsville. And we should have those up between Thursday and Friday this week. And then Friday, I'm hoping Taz is not available for the fantasy report. So I'm hoping to get a guest to step in and help me with that fantasy report on Friday. If that guest is available, then we'll go ahead and do it. If not, you won't see a fantasy report this week, but we'll try to make sure we get that fantasy report out for you for the Phoenix race. And then, of course, we'll be back on the other side of the weekend with the reviews for all of these races, the elimination races, and then our Hot Topic Sound Off. And Jay, you know we're going to have some hot topics to talk about at 10 o'clock Eastern time on Monday night. And that is a live stream with a live chat. And we love it when the fans interact with us. We had a couple that were interacting with us last week, and we hope to have more this weekend. So don't be shy. Feel free to step in. It's okay to have a differing opinion. Express it in a respectful way, and we'll be okay. So with that, Jay, did you?
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad I looked this up because this is not at all what I was thinking. Haas Factory is still actually in 7th and 8th on the owner's side. It is Junior Motorsports, the number 1 in 9th at 2171, and the number 8 at 2156. So we were talking about 3 drivers from Junior Motorsports possibly being in. Right now in the owner's points, it's 2 Junior Motorsports, the 88, the 70, and the 7, and then the 21 and the 2 of Richard Childress. Mentioned Joe Gibbs Racing going for it. The 19 is actually listed in 5th. This doesn't have it sorted by the wins, though, because the 21 and the 19, yeah, but it doesn't guarantee. The lock-ins are the 19 and the 21, so they are actually locked in. But yeah, points-wise, it was
the win, yeah,
because they have the win. You're right. That doesn't separate it, so. But yeah, it's the Junior Motorsports 2 teams that are out based off of points.
And the number 2.
He's right now he's in the 4th spot for the owners. So yeah, it's Junior Motorsports. You mentioned all Chevrolets.
Displaces
that's right. You're right. That pushes it out. You're right. I'm not looking at it with those wins.
Yeah, the 19 would displace the 2. So it would be the 7 and the 88 along with the 21 and the 19.
All right, there you go. So you got a Toyota and 3 Chevrolets. Again, I think this is going to be maybe not as intense on the Truck Series. Like I said, the points are still mathematically within range for everybody, but not as likely. The Truck Series, man, the points is going to be a big factor. Here in the Xfinity Series, there could be some points battles. You certainly want to keep an eye on that. You're going to keep an eye on Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, because I think they really are realistically in that must-win situation.
Yeah. When I look at we did not give the owners points for the truck series. Right now it's Tricon Garage, Spire Motorsports, Hallmark Friesen in the 52, which is the Caden Honeycutt vehicle, and then the number 18 for McAnally Hilgeman. And that's why they're making sure that somebody's in that car with William Sawalich being out of the car.
Right.
The four that are below are the 98 of Ty Majeski, Front Row Motorsports number 34, which is Lane Riggs, and McAnally Hilgeman's 19, and CR7 Motorsports, that's the 9 of Grant Infinger. So it pretty much follows along the lines of the point standings.
Yeah, the only one different there is Caden Honeycutt in that Stuart Friesen Halmar Racing machine.
We do appreciate everybody tuning in, and we know that we've got a lot to talk about here, a little bit more than usual, Jay, for our previews today. So we appreciate you hearing what we have to say. We have a lot of fun doing these, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoy doing it. And then, of course, thank you, everybody. Jay, did you have anything you wanted to say?
You don't want to miss these races. Again, it's the cutoff races for the playoffs. So yeah, this is it. Do or die.
Do or die. Take care.